Hi everyone, hope you're doing okay, but I was recently looking at the comment section of my latest video and saw someone suggesting to add character creation inside the Avatar fan game. I believe I have seen someone else say this as well, and this is a good idea, and I would want to add character creation into the game at some point. Character creation will open up a lot of opportunities for the game, like for example, being able to choose what kind of bending power you want, like if you want to be a firebender like Zuko, or earthbender like Toph, the possibilities are endless. A few anime games have actually done this before, such as Jump Force, Naruto Shinobi Striker, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'm sure you have at least heard of one of those games. Personally, my favorite is Dragon Ball Xenoverse, as I believe it's the most fleshed out, but I haven't yet played Shinobi Striker, so it's possible that its character creation might be really good as well. But in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you have the option to choose between 5 different races, which are the Saiyan race, Human race, Frieza race, Namekian race and Majin Buu race, and depending on the race you choose, will affect what kinds of stats you have. For example, the Namekian race have very high health, and the Saiyan race have lower health, but higher attack power, so they deal more damage, and they also get cool perks such as increased damage in certain situations. But real quick, if you are enjoying this video, be sure to leave a like and comment to support the channel and the game, and watch this video at least halfway to get more information about the game. But as I was saying, in an Avatar game, the earthbending class would have high health and high defense, and something like the firebending class could have a higher attack power but lower defense. For airbenders, from what we've seen in the show, they are very swift and agile, so airbenders could have faster attack speed and more evasive moves, as we see in the show with Aang dodging a lot and being the greatest ninja ever, and also the ability to fly, just like Aang also did in the show. So maybe airbenders would probably have access to gliders, just like Aang. And finally, for waterbenders, I think this one is a bit more complicated, since waterbenders can have really deadly attacks, like being able to turn water into very sharp objects that they can also throw at you for instant death, like we see with many attempts in the show. But they also have very good defense, like they can use water to protect themselves, which you might say, how something as weak as water can protect them? Well, anime logic, but they can also turn their water into ice and use it as a shield, as we've seen them use in the show quite a few times. This makes waterbenders very powerful and versatile. They have the attack power to deal a lot of damage to someone quite easily if the enemy is not careful, just like firebenders, but also the ability to be very defensive just like the earthbenders, like being able to create very reliable shields with ice. But waterbenders are not unstoppable, as they have one glaring weakness. As you know, pretty much all the benders have access to their abilities, almost at all times. Firebenders can bend fire whenever they want, though they are weaker during nighttime and strongest during Sazan's comet. Airbenders can bend air also, whenever they want, as the air is everywhere around you, and earthbenders can bend earth whenever they want as well, because the earth is literally always under your feet, and they should be able to theoretically bend underwater, because even in lakes, rivers, and oceans, eventually you will hit the ground where the earth is. But as for waterbenders, they need water, which may not be always available, so water bending is strong, but is limited because of the limited access to the resource. However, very skilled waterbenders can bend water from things like plants and trees, so arguably, this isn't a problem for very skilled waterbenders, and truly makes waterbenders potentially broken. So I think the waterbending class would be a balanced class in the game, as they can deal good damage but also have good defenses. In the game Dragon Ball Xenoverse, there is also a class that is balanced. This class is the human race, as they excel in almost every stats in the game. They have good damage, just like the Saiyans, without the drawback of lower health, and some people believe the human race was quite overpowered in the game. In Dragon Ball Xenoverse, every class also has a transformation. The Saiyans can go Super Saiyan, the Frieza race have a transformation that turns them golden, and the Namekian race can become larger. Sadly, in Avatar, there are not really many transformations. All we really have is the Avatar state and some power-ups, like waterbenders being able to control blood during a full moon and firebenders being stronger during Sazan's comet. We could give players the ability to access the avatar state. It's not a bad idea for a transformation, but I think we would have to be careful how we execute it. We could also give players the ability to use different versions of their bending, for example. Fire benders could use lightning bending, earth benders could use metal bending, or mineral bending, like bending diamonds and other minerals that we see in the show, and water benders could use ice bending, or maybe even blood bending, but that might be too overpowered. Blood bending in the show was a very powerful technique. We saw how Katara used it to demolish the Fire Nation soldiers when she went with Zuko to get her revenge. Be sure to also give us your ideas in the comments section. Another question we also have to think about when it comes to character creation is how it could interact with the story of the game. If the game eventually gets a story mode, it would be a really cool idea for your custom created character to be part of the story. Dragon Ball Xenoverse actually does this, and it was one of the reasons why the game gained popularity 7 years ago. Being able to create your own character and put it in the Dragon Ball Z world alongside characters like Goku and Vegeta was a very intriguing idea 7 years ago. So I think being able to create your own custom character and putting it to the Avatar universe alongside characters like Aang, Katara and Zuko would be a very fun experience, and I'm sure you guys 100% agree as well. As for the update for the game, so far, I'm still working on the combo system, but recently, I had added a dodge system. You can use it to dodge left and to also dodge right. I will also probably add in a backward dodge as well, but this will be used for dodging attacks, such as fireballs or water attacks. It will make the fight more dynamic and fast-paced like in the show. This is only an experimental version, so be sure to tell me the improvements you want from it, and I will actively work on it. Also, I haven't made this public for a while, but I did start working on fire bending. As you can see here, I think the fire looks very powerful, like it did in the show, but it's still not where I want it to be. But this is a very good start for now. I was going for the look that was in the Onikai, with Zuko vs Azula, as that episode probably had one of the best fire effects in the entire show. Only episodes like Aang vs Fire Lord Ozai is as good or better. But that's all for now. Be sure to leave a like and comment to support the game. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.